5.11 RUSH72 backpack. So this has been my main backpack for quite a number of years now, maybe 5 years I think. This is my main Bushcraft pack, if you like. I also use it though for travel. I don't like to take suitcases or anything with me when I travel, so I try to use something that is not too conspicuous. I don't, it's not camouflage or anything. I go for a nice neutral sort of black. It is fairly tactical, but it's not so tactical that it draws much attention to anybody other than people who tend to buy these kind of bags. I've noticed people in the past with these bags, and I always take a little bit of a second look at them, just because I know, they haven't just went into a high street and purchased this bag. They've actually went out of their way to look for a decent tactical, backpack for whatever reason. It served me well for a long time, and it'll probably continue to serve me well for quite a long time. Full description of this backpack will be in the link below. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. This is just my backpack. It has got some pros and cons. I did, which I think I mentioned in another video, I purchased an additional day sack, which this clips onto the front of this pack and becomes an additional modular pack, which, especially if I'm doing some sort of travel, I'll carry the packs in a combination like this, and then say I get to a hotel or whatever and I'm moving, exploring somewhere, I'll remove this one which has my day goods in it, and this becomes what I would leave behind or whatever. This doubles up as a camera bag. This is my main backpack when I go, camping or on bushcraft trips and things like that. I wouldn't recommend using a pack like this if you're seriously into hiking, because they're incredibly heavy as bags go. You can get a much lighter hiking traditional type backpack, and for a lot cheaper than what you could get a pack like this for. This is obviously a tactical pack. It's designed for the military, so it's much more rugged, it's much stronger. It has a lot more functionality to it in terms of the ability to attach other webbing and MOLLE type items and stuff to it. But with all of that additional toughness comes the additional weight. It's an incredibly heavy backpack, and so even empty you wouldn't want to be carrying this on any kind of serious hiking trip. But when it comes to bushcraft, I'm less concerned about weight and more concerned about durability, and so I opt for durability over weight when it comes to serious bushcrafting type trips, or places where I know that I'm going to be in an area that it could take some serious sort of rough and tumble. All of my backpacks have carabiners on them, so I can hang them in trees. This is you can use this carabiner to, it's lightweight, and you can use it to, it's a climbing grade carabiner as well, so that's just a feature. I always have these, it's a country flag. I've actually ordered the blood type patch as well, but these are the kind of things that you may want to remove if you're traveling to certain countries, depending on whether you think it's going to draw attention to yourself or not. The thing about these kind of packs is they have lots of compartments. So this top compartment is usually where I always have something that I need absolutely ready at hand. So in there normally what I would carry is toiletries, like not water, like basic toilet, like toilet paper, hand sanitizer, a head torch, a lighter, and sometimes my car keys is what I put in there, and I secure it in there. This compartment at the front, it's got some stuff in it just now, but it basically consists of netting type different pouches that you can open. Net pouch can be opened from both ends, a main sort of dump sack at the bottom, and then it has additional pouches with pen holders and, you know, all sorts of little clips and stuff like that. It's also large enough, I find, to put a laptop, a work laptop. Fits quite nicely in there as well. It doesn't seem to get too much in the way. The top of these packs all have a small pouch which has got felt inside it, which is, you know, you put sunglasses or reading glasses, stops them getting scratched. The back of the pack has quite a deep reinforced pack there, which is designed, it's got a solid sort of plastic guard there, and it's designed to put a water bladder, but you can also, if you like, put a laptop or something in there as well, which would be in a sort of more rigid place to protect it a little bit, if that's what you wanted to do. Straps are fairly comfortable, nothing too special. They are quite padded. I've never had too much of a problem with them. Chest straps and waist belt, which are adjustable. I've added some count beads to them, pacing beads as well, which I tend to add to these kind of packs. This is for feeding the water bladder hose through, or radio wire through. There's one on each side. Solid grab handle. Drain holes on the bottom of the pack as well, if you're wading through any particular water or whatever. The front bit of the pack opens up completely and has like a netted end there, which I've seen pictures of people putting helmets and other military equipment or ropes or whatever in this area and then strapping it sort of forward like that. What I tend to use it for is putting my waterproofs in there. I stuff my waterproofs down into that, which means I don't have to, you know, it's not getting the rest of my kit wet. I can just sort of easily at hand grab them from the outside of the backpack. It has some additional strapping and stuff attached to it as well, which aids in attaching the smaller additional backpacks that you can purchase. Side pouch on each end, with a pouch, two pouches, one at the top, one at the bottom, and then one main compartment, same on each side. This is where I tend to put my water bladder, saws and things like that, if need be. The main compartment itself, clam opening type compartment. Main compartment has got a net pocket. Main sack, so that when you open it fully up, everything's not going to pour out if you pack it properly. On the door of the pack, you've basically just got two more net pouches that can be opened from the top or the bottom, and one non-net one at the bottom there. They call it the 72 because it's designed so that, the idea being that it's a 3-day pack. So you should be able to put an overnight kit in here, plus a few days worth of food. And if you were in the military, some additional equipment, and you should be able to have no problems over a few days. I've spent a lot longer than 3 days living out of this pack, but I don't have any special equipment that goes with it. It's really just food and my sleeping equipment. And in the summer months, or for three seasons of the year, this is more than enough of a pack for me to do everything that I need to use it for. Loops at the bottom, 2 drain holes, loops at the bottom so you can attach mats and whatever. Some of the cons with this backpack I tend to find, the first one being its weight. These military bags are heavy, these tactical packs, they're very heavy. They're not cheap. They're water repellent, I would say. They're not waterproof. None of these zips are sealed or anything, so you still have to waterproof all of your gear inside these. And if you're in a prolonged wet environment, these can eventually become a bit of a drag by holding water weight, I find. The number one gripe that I've got with this backpack over a long time of use, which I tend to find, is a lot of people look at these backpacks and they think, well, that's wonderful to have all of these compartments that you can put all of your gear in, you know. The problem I find with backpacks with lots of pockets like this is you don't fill these pockets with all of your gear because, well, one, you would have to individually waterproof all of those individual pieces of gear, you know, and usually most of my gear is just, you know, it's in maybe 5 or 6 waterproof stuff sacks. So I've got like 5 or 6 separate little bags, and I put them into my pack, and they each hold their own function. I'm not going to go into each one of those packs and then individually put them into all of these pockets, because that's, you know, there's no use to doing that. When you do try to fill these pockets, what I tend to find is, I've tried this before, I've tried putting things in this pocket and then this pocket, but what tends to happen is, if you put something in this pocket, it's then very difficult to put something in this pocket because it bulges out. So if you do force something into this pocket, the backpack eventually just starts becoming a bit of a turtle shell, and you end up with a sort of very bulky amount of gear all in one sort of area, and it becomes difficult to access that gear. It looks like it would be incredibly easy to get to gear, like nice and modular. In reality, it becomes quite a tight fitting backpack. So I don't ever really use a lot of these compartments and pouches.